Taurus, it's July 2015, Dadhichi here with your forecast. Let's just call it an overview because, I'd like to keep this brief. I know you've got lots of other things to do. But the significant transit is the full moon that's coming up very early in the month on the 2nd of July in your 9th house, very near to the transformative planet Pluto. Now that's pretty significant in terms of the 9th house having a lot to do with your past. If you just think along with me a little here, it's an interesting concept that the present and the future can actually be changed by radically altering the way we regard our past. Having a view of our past and whether that's been good or bad, completely colours our perception of the current and future circumstances of our lives. So that is significant because you have an opportunity now to look back and to perhaps work at looking at the events of your life, particularly those events that were especially troublesome, and spinning it in a completely different way. It's a little experiment I'd recommend you try. And during this full moon transit of the moon very near to Pluto, it will probably be a little easier for you to do that. I'm not saying it's easy overall because, dredging up the past and all the emotional associations that go with that is never an easy thing. So I hope that can work for you just now. And that's intimately linked with the new moon that we see taking place in your 3rd house of communications, short journeys on the 16th. Now, mind you, this 9th house, apart from ruling the past, does have quite a bit to say about journeys, foreign connections and that sort of thing. So these areas of your life, are strongly focused during the month of July. We see the friendly Mercury to you transiting your 2nd house, which is always quite nice. I'm just trying to take a look at my screen here with these are short distance glasses, and now I'm having trouble seeing the transits. Let me get up close and personal. Take a look here. We see Mercury moving to the 3rd house as well. That takes place on the very early on the 9th of July. And that will move into the company of Mars and Sun. It's not too friendly with Mars. So after the 9th, that's into the 2nd week and 3rd week. So this is a strong transit. Mercury feels comfortable in its domicile, or what we call its natural house, the 3rd house. So we see a movement from this money-making house, the 2nd house, up until the 9th. So focus is on your finances at that time. Be careful because it's in the sign of Gemini, its own sign, which splits your attention into probably too many things and gives you that flip-flop sort of attitude. Indecisiveness can mark some of the air signs, particularly Gemini and Libra. So there could be some confusion there surrounding your finances, but at the same time, with the month commencing with the aspect of the moon, then there can be some good forms of imagination or visualization as to how to improve your income and your the financial position that you have right now. What I do like in your horoscope is your ruling planet now exactly conjunct beneficial Jupiter in your 4th house. There are nice triangular aspects as the month starts. In fact, it's what we call a grand trine, triangular position between the moon and the 8th house, Venus and Jupiter in your 4th house. and the outer planet Uranus in the 12th house. These are considered spiritual houses, but just to focus on this 4th house, which is where your ruling planet is, a lot of focus and good opportunities to really have a great time in the family situation. Excellent if you're looking to purchase property or to expand your portfolio if you're an investor. And if you're not that way inclined, which a lot of Taurians I know aren't, you like to move along the path of the tried and tested, it may simply be a time where you beautify your home and just create a nice living space, a nice living environment. That can also extend with that Mercury moving into the 3rd house after the 9th into your communication with family members as being quite nicely fortified. I'm really crossing my fingers for you that you can sort out some of the emotional issues that may have been long-standing due to the transit of Saturn in that 7th house. I keep referring to that month by month as being a bit of a difficult one, especially now that it's just moved into retrograde motion recently. It's still in its retrograde path, and that can accelerate the power of that planet. Saturn will show us that area in our life where we're limited, where we don't have a lot of opportunity to grow. We're obstructed, constrained, and therefore that creative impulse has to be drawn upon to work through the relationships, especially your long-term relationships, as we see your 7th house being ruled by Scorpio is a fixed sign, and therefore these problems are not easily solved. This has a lot to do with our insecurities and our fears as well. There may be a lot of fear surrounding the reasons you are in a relationship, the reasons why you may not want to depart a relationship. It may also have something to do with why you're afraid to get into a relationship if you're not yet into one. In any case, Saturn's action is very powerful, and it is in that sort of context that you should work at, resolving problems, working on your own fear, your own insecurities, going back into your past, understanding how past events may have, they certainly did shape your attitudes and your personality. But if that on an unconscious or subconscious level is playing out in your relationships, you need to work on that. And this is the time of your life when that can indeed happen. So I hope that's been of some use to you today. We do see like an additional aspect there. Your ruling planet Venus does move to the sign of Virgo, which is your 5th house. That again is a very, very lovely position for you to look forward to. It is the debilitation sign of your ruler, but it is the 5th house of love affairs. What that's telling me is you need to maybe serve yourself a little bit. Getting back to that Saturn influence, it's obvious that you are perhaps surrendering some of your own needs to satisfy someone during this phase of your life. And I'm not saying you stop doing that, but I am saying you need to find balance there, and to do it in a way that elevates your self-respect and your self-honor to its rightful place. You can visit my website, astrology.com.au. I always mention it. We've got a new look now. Still working through some problems, but that's the way of the world. Please join me there for your daily, monthly and yearly horoscopes. And, I'm available if you'd like to talk about any of those really tough nuts to crack in terms of life problems. Astrology can help you, and a more personalised reading can be quite enlightening. Till next month, take care. I've enjoyed your company. Look after yourself. Bye-bye now.